Hi there, it's me again, Rain Mercury, executive producer from Five Town Entertainment. And on Gil Broussard's behalf, we just wanted to say thank you so much to all of you who have already shown tremendous support in making your order purchase of Planet7X documentary DVD. And we have been getting a lot of emails right now about whether or not we're going to offer something for the holidays. Some of you are interested in making multiple purchases to give as a gift or hand out to a couple of your friends who are interested in this topic. And what we decided to do was, because everyone's showing such wonderful support right now, we've decided to go ahead and offer everybody a 2-for-1, where if you order one copy, we will send another copy to you for free. So if you buy 2 copies, we'll send you 4. If you buy 5, we'll send you 10 copies. Unless you really just want one copy and you specify in your order when you go online that you only want one, we will honor that request. But if you want 2, you want to have a handy one around, you want to give one to a friend, we definitely recommend making your purchase now. That will be available from the time that this video is up until about mid-December. And with that being said, we decided to add another bonus feature to this video here that is not available in this documentary. It's a segment that we cut out entirely, mainly because there was a lot of information that we wanted to pull together, but we just didn't have a lot of time. We wanted to do some more research, we wanted to do some more interviews, but we were really running out of time to really try to get this information out to all of you who are really trying to piece together if this elusive planetary body is really out there, and for those of you who are showing support to Gil, really trying to get to the bottom of this. So in this particular segment, a lot of people have asked Gil and have been sending emails to myself of whether or not this planet is visible now. And some people are asking, why can't we see it, for those of you who are actually out there with your telescopes looking for it. And that was a particular topic that we touched upon, but we just didn't have a whole lot of information. So what we decided to do was string together some of the information that's already available right now out in the mainstream media that I'm sure maybe some of you have already seen. And these clips by themselves are pretty interesting, they're pretty fascinating, but when you string them together in conjunction with what Gil is talking about here in Planet7X, the Destroyer documentary, you'll see a pattern that there's definitely something going on where there could potentially be some technology that either is blocking our view, or there are bodies at work right now that are really kind of misleading people. So with that being said, we thank everybody for all of their tremendous support. And we encourage everybody to go on now to order your DVD copy, and we will offer you a free one once you make your purchase. And we hope that you enjoy this bonus feature from Planet7X documentary, only available right here at Gil Broussard's YouTube channel, Planet7X. Do you personally believe that the subject of Planet X is a conspiracy? Is there a cover-up?
Yes, to a certain extent, for a certain reason, because number one, duty of government is to protect the markets.
The financial markets.
Financial markets, because that's where their revenue are generated from the taxes, and protecting the workplace and the revenue streams of people. They would be highly motivated with the technology that they have to cloak or hide this object if possible. And according to scientists that I've talked that's high level, and I asked them just straight out, is technology exists to block our view from such a planet? They gave me a short answer, yes. They would not qualify how, because it's top secret. But yes, they can block it.
Guy Kramer is one of the designers competing to win the Army's next multi-million-dollar contract. This summer, he showed us the science behind every shape, size, and shade of these pixels.
We're trying to trick the brain into seeing things that aren't actually there.
Digital patterns recreate shapes already found in nature, and 3D layering creates depth and shadows where none exist. That's today's design, but developers already have one eye on tomorrow.
What's coming up down the road and very quickly is the Harry Potter cloak.
How invisible are we talking here? If I walked into a room with a soldier wearing one of these cloaks?
You wouldn't see him at all. He would be completely invisible to you.
This isn't make-believe. The military has seen the so-called quantum stealth technology. It works by bending the light around an object, even concealing most of a person's shadow. So what was once firmly in the world of make-believe could quickly become quite real.
Tupac at Coachella.
Yes, I must get to school.
Michael Jackson at the Billboard Music Awards. Yep, holograms can bring artists back from the dead on stage in 3D, but
actually what I think is even cooler is they can project real people, living people, me, anywhere in the world in real time. So right now I'm backstage. Lenny, go out front. So what you're seeing isn't the real me, this is the hologram me. The real me's still backstage. And these guys can project me dancing anywhere in the world.
Tonight we're making television history. This has never been done before.
They projected Jimmy Kimmel from Hollywood live to the Country Music Awards in Nashville, and they projected this Indian politician to multiple campaign rallies at the same time. He won the election, by the way.
Now, George and Robin, this technology actually could improve the quality of your lives. Right now, you guys could be at home, and just your holograms are in times. Get off.
Me get off?
What are you doing? I'm going live.
I'm late.
I'm me. You don't even look like me.
I don't
Guys, I'm going to have an argument with myself. Bye.
A new so-called invisibility cloak called Adaptive has been tested, which could one day help military vehicles blend into their surroundings and avoid heat-seeking missiles. So, how does it work? Well, this cloak is basically a sheet of hexagonal pixels that can change temperature very quickly. Onboard cameras can pick up the background scenery, then display that infrared image onto the cloak, allowing even a moving tank to match its surroundings. The maker's BAE systems say a vehicle can also pretend to be something else. For example, here on the left, you can see a tank with adaptive off. Then on the right, you can see it with the technology on, and it's mimicking a car nearby. This, the company says, will reduce the chances of it being attacked. It apparently works both in the day and night, and when the vehicle is moving. When we spoke to the company, they admitted it's not 100% invisible. The outline can be seen by the naked eye. But they told us the main advantage of the technology is that it confuses heat-seeking missiles. They said it could be in production in 2 years' time and could one day be used to cloak battleships at sea.
Holograms are three-dimensional images produced by two distinct beams of light, but until now they could only be seen but not touched. Now scientists in Japan have changed all that with the creation of touchable holograms.
Researchers at Tokyo University have come up with a technology that is a first and significant step away from the mouse and keyboard, touchable holograms. The technology consists of software that uses ultrasonic waves to create pressure on the hand of the user touching the projected hologram. Researchers are using two Wiimotes from Nintendo's Wii gaming system to track a user's hand. The technology was used at SIGGRAPH, an annual computer graphics conference, and has so far only been tested with relatively simple objects. But its inventors have big plans for touchable holograms in the future.
This video surfaced out of China, and it looks like their city is floating in the clouds. Of course, we can't verify if the video is real or not, but we have seen things like this before.
Once it gets close enough and the plasma tail starts to form, I don't think there's a cloaking device that can prevent that light from going on where it would see through the cloaking device. Plasma is it's quite unique. It's like a neon light, basically. So it would be impossible for them to block it, then they'd have to silence the internet. I'd say at least 4 months or until it reaches a point where they're willing to tell the public the truth once it's within sight, which probably be like a 40-day warning. And I do say if, this is qualified by sighting sometime this year, 40-day warning would give you some time period in February that they would tell the public.
Hi there, it's me again, Rain Mercury, executive producer from 5 Entertainment. Gil and I have been getting a few more emails, people asking us if we can extend the offer to till the end of the year or till next month. So Gil and I discussed it, and we decided to extend the offer till the 1st of January, right after the new year, for the 2-for-1 deal. We really thank everybody for all of the support. We've had a lot of wonderful emails, a lot of people congratulating us on a job well done with Planet7X, the Destroyer documentary. And a lot of people, giving us many blessings and encouraging us to continue on, and most importantly, Gil in doing his investigative research in finding out the truth, the absolute truth of whether or not this planet truly exists. We are providing for you our third and final bonus material of extra content of the documentary Planet7X, the Destroyer. It is not on the DVD. It's not available anywhere else but right here on YouTube, on Planet7X YouTube channel. What is involved when it comes to making a movie and getting your fees, paying your licensing and your copyrights and your lawyer fees, and there's a lot of things that are involved. So to try to sum it up to everybody, when you make a documentary or you make a movie of any kind, there's a lot of music, special effects, stock music, stock content, other bodies involved who work on the process that are all in agreement or signed contracts. And each one of these licenses and fees and restrictions all have a criteria that you have to follow, which is why we don't upload this to YouTube. There are some things that have actually stipulated that we're not to upload this to YouTube because there is some content that was either created by a third party or there was a licensing fee that we weren't able to afford, or we just felt like it's not time right now. Either way, there are more things involved than people out there who think that they can just take this documentary and upload it because the message is so important that it belongs to all of mankind. Gil and I really appreciate that, and we really appreciate the enthusiasm, and we definitely want everyone to kind of spread the message and spread the word about this documentary and really trying to get to the truth of this Planet X. But we also still have to follow the laws. There are entertainment laws, there are state laws. There's a lot of laws that we have to follow, even when you're doing fair use. If there's content that we're using, there's a lot of fees that are paid for to ensure that this documentary is following the correct criteria and that we don't overstep our bounds. So there's a lot of things that people have a misconception of. And so it's difficult because nothing comes for free, and a lot of people think that it should be. As much as I would like to do that, unfortunately, it can't be as much as we want to. Somebody has to pay for it. And we're also getting a lot of requests now that we put this documentary into multiple languages, French, German. I think we've had a few requests from China, Brazil. There's a number of people who have asked us, and unfortunately that also costs money, and that's not free. But if you really need help and you really want to get your copy, or you want others to get this, but they're not able to really afford it. Gil and I, have made ourselves accessible to everybody. So just reach out to us, send us an email, get in touch with Gil. He'll forward it to me, and we'll work something out. We understand the importance of this. And with that being said, I'm going to be a little politically incorrect, and I'm going to say to everybody out there, Merry Christmas, and may God bless you. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you and your family. And both Gil and I would like to wish you guys the best of the happiest new year that you can have. And keep a watchful eye. So with that being said, thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you all those who have gone out and purchased your copy that you can get now at planet7x.net. And we hope that you enjoy our final bonus feature here. Enjoy. Since Dr. Robert Harrington passed away about 1993, that's about roughly the same time between 1992 and 93 that all this Planet X information coming from NASA sort of deceased, but then the Vatican came in roughly at that time frame to start, spreading their wings in astronomy. And in my personal research, I'm wondering what your thoughts are, why they would have chosen Mount Graham at such a cost, where they actually had to go to court to fight for that mountain in particularly, and built a $30 million telescope. Why would they have done such a thing in some of your research?
Now, the Vatican is in partners with the university, and it came online in 1990-93. Their location is mostly determined by weather conditions and visibility of the stars. You want the least, you want clear skies. That means void of light pollution from the nearby cities, and you want arid weather, more conditions where it doesn't have a problem. There are not that many areas that you want access by roads and everything, so you need the proper formula to get this. You want elevation, you want roads to lead, and you want proper lighting, these conditions.
Why so much money on a $30 million scope? What's so important about it?
Well, the Vatican Observatory is a binocular telescope, infrared. It's one of the, if not the largest, infrared binocular telescopes in the world. What makes it unique is the added equipment that the Office of Naval Research provided them with, advanced technical expertise with the infrared equipment as attached. That section is called Lucifer, as far as that piece of equipment.
It seems like they went out of their way to name it Lucifer.
Well, the Greek, it's not in the Hebrew. Lucifer means bright star or illuminated object. Interesting. If you do enough research, it's not the name of the devil or whatever you call it. It's actually illuminated body. So basically, what it is, so it gets a little myth. There's a myth attached to it.
We come down off the mountain and we send our book to the typesetter, and it's off to the printer, and we think, well, okay, we've solved the mystery, right, of what's going on in Mount Graham. And then we get contacted by the Apache, by a member of the Apache Nation, who wants us to know that he heard us on the radio, he saw us on TV, and we have missed probably the biggest piece of the puzzle. And we're like, well, what is that? And he says the reason that the Apache joined the environmentalists to sue the Vatican and to sue NASA and to try to keep them from getting up on the top of that mountain is because Mount Graham is one of the 4 holiest mountains in the world for all American indigenous tribes, not just the Apache. And it is, Jim, because it is a portal, it is a doorway, it is a gateway. What? It is a strategic location on Earth where, since the beginning of time, entities have come in and out of this reality. Well, when he told me that, we went and vetted the story to make sure that was true, and it is. And then, boy, the conspiracy lights went off in our head about now why did the Vatican and NASA want that mountain in particular? Why go through a federal lawsuit? Why not just go to another mountain that'd give you the same elevation, right? Yeah. Why go through this whole lawsuit? You got to get the governor of the state of Arizona has to go to bat for you. And then their own Jesuit says they went there because they're watching something that is approaching the earth. They're watching something that is approaching the earth. They're watching something that is approaching the earth. And he says it's going to be of the utmost importance.
In other news, pink is the new red, at least in the solar system. That's right, pink is the exciting new shade of the season, thanks to the newly discovered planet GJ504b. And while the name may not be that sexy, the color sure is. Located 57 light years away from Earth, this stunning designer planet orbits around a sun similar to our own and is a sizzling hot 460 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, research teams spotted this little fireball, which also sets a new record as the lowest mass world ever detected by using infrared data from a Subaru telescope in Hawaii. So watch out, Mars. There's a new lady on the block, and astronomers are just going wild for her.
A new study claims to have evidence of undiscovered planets even closer to home, right here in our own solar system. The study deals with the class of objects in the farthest reaches of our solar neighborhood. Objects past Neptune are called trans-Neptunian objects, or TNOs. For example, Pluto is a TNO. And things even farther than that are called extreme trans-Neptunian objects, or ETNOs. Many of these distant objects don't move the way they should, and the brightest minds in astronomy have yet to figure out why. One theory is that there are large undiscovered planets whose gravity is affecting the ETNO's orbit. In the new study, Spanish scientists say their calculations show exactly that. One co-author explains the most probable explanation is that other unknown planets exist beyond Neptune and Pluto. Sounds a lot like we're finding out 2 new families are living in our astro community.
If you think you know how the solar system is arranged, think again, because there just might be a Planet X lurking well beyond Neptune. Most of us grew up with 9 planets. Then Pluto became a dwarf planet along with the other Kuiper Belt objects, and the layout of our solar system changed. Now we've got 8 planets and hundreds of dwarf planets. All of these objects orbit the Sun more or less regularly. Their orbits are all slightly elliptical and vary in inclination, but let's call that regular, because there are objects beyond the Kuiper Belt that have extremely irregular orbits, and they're throwing a bit of a wrench in how we imagine the solar system is arranged. Sedna is a dwarf planet that traces a highly elliptical orbit around the Sun. 1 astronomical unit, or AU, is the distance from the Earth to the Sun. Sedna only comes as close as 76 AU to the Sun and goes as far out as 940 AU. And it's got a companion out there, a recently discovered dwarf planet called 2012 VP113 that only comes as close as 80 AU to the Sun and travels as far away as 452 AU. There are a small handful of other bodies with similarly strange orbits, and the question plaguing astronomers is why? Why are these bodies unlike all the other bodies? They aren't part of a distant debris field. They're too far from Neptune to have their orbits perturbed by Neptune, and they're too far from the Oort cloud. It's possible a passing star pulled them away from the Kuiper Belt at some point. Or it's possible there's a massive planet out there that's not only pulled these objects into their irregular orbits, but that's also keeping them in their strangely distant places. It's far too early to tell. Astronomers will need to make a lot more observations to confirm anything, but studying the irregular orbits of these distant tiny worlds could uncover the existence of a 9th planet, or a 10th planet depending on how you feel about Pluto. The discovery of 2012 VP113 is adding compelling evidence to this idea. And this isn't even a new way of looking for planets. It's actually how Neptune was discovered. Neptune's orbit was predicted based on irregularities observed in Uranus's orbit. Lo and behold, the planet was there. Irregularities in Neptune's orbit led to the prediction of an even more distant Planet X. Pluto is actually found near this predicted planet, but it's too small to really act on Neptune. So could the irregularities in these dwarf planets, when taken together, reveal a new Planet X orbiting our Sun in our own cosmic backyard? It might be a long shot, but it's not impossible.
What they'll notice in the night sky would be something no larger than Jupiter, but as bright as Venus, and eventually it'll create a tail like a comet. It will not be that spectacular at the beginning, but once it rounds the Sun and starts heading towards Earth, within the last 40 days, it'll be quite sizable. What people can look for in the night sky will be something that appears like a comet coming out of the constellation Sagittarius that has to be on the ecliptic for it to cause a 2-event meteor shower 5 months apart.